I was just fired from my job.
So I've lost my job. I got called into the office yesterday and told me that they could either fire me or I could put a resignation in.
I just got fired.
I just got fired! I gotta be fired from my job! I'm gonna pay my rent!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it certainly seems like now the people who have been effing around for far too long, they're starting to find out. And you know what's interesting to see? I mean, it's not that interesting. We could have all seen it coming, but these people simply cannot believe what is going on. They cannot stand it. Yet these are the very same people who, for years, have cancelled and condemned everybody for a different point of view. Now they're facing consequences for their actions. Oh, I can't believe what is going on. They're having a meltdown. It is absolutely hilarious. Now, before we get into all the news, ladies and gentlemen, if you could, make sure to leave a like rating as it really, really helps out the video. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video, comment on this video, and share this video around. Now, I think it's only right we start off with the breaking news we got yesterday surrounding Jimmy Kimmel, because he made some comments about the Charlie Kirk situation on his show, and because of those comments, his show has now been pulled off the air. And people, well, as I mentioned at the beginning, they ain't happy about it, especially Hollywood celebrities. Hollywood stars unleashed their fury on ABC over Jimmy Kimmel's suspension. Hollywood celebrities have rushed to defend Jimmy Kimmel after he was indefinitely taken off the air because of comments about Charlie Kirk's. ABC will not be airing Jimmy Kimmel live for the foreseeable future, a spokesperson announced on Wednesday. The talk show host made controversial statements about Kirk on Monday following his last week at Utah Valley University, and said during his monologue that the MAGA gang was trying to gain political points over Kirk's. But that wasn't the only thing he said in his crappy monologue, was it? No. In his little speech, he was saying that MAGA were desperately trying to prove that the person who took out Charlie Kirk wasn't one of their own. What?
We had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points.
Now, I can't play the whole thing because, as you guys know, I'll get copyrighted, but you can just see with those comments there why he's landed himself in a lot of trouble. I don't know why people are complaining that his show has been taken off the air. I don't know how you even get up on stage on live TV and say those things. And I want to read out this post by Piers Morgan on X because it sums up the whole situation. Jimmy Kimmel lied about Charlie Kirk's assassin being MAGA. This caused understandable outrage all over America, prompted TV station owners to say they wouldn't air him, and now he's being suspended by his employers. Why is he being heralded as some kind of free speech martyr? Exactly. I don't get it. But obviously, because he's a part of the left, everybody's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's had his show taken down. You know, these Hollywood celebrities and all these woke leftist liberals care more about Jimmy Kimmel having his show taken off the air than Charlie Kirk actually losing his life. That tells you all you need to know about these people. Some people need a lot of help. They really do. And I think the help they need isn't on this planet. They need to go far and wide to find the help that they need. Trust me. And this is where we get into the Hollywood meltdown over Jimmy Kimmel losing his show. Ben Stiller jumped over to X to repost the news of ABC taking Kimmel off the air and typed out, "This isn't right." Singer John Legend shared a post by David Frum which read, "How dare you call us fascists just because our appointees threaten government retaliation against broadcast networks if their comedians don't say what we want them to say." Community actor Alison Brie shared a newsletter on Instagram, "This is unreal and very scary." Henry Winkler wrote on X, "At Jimmy Kimmel, his humor, his insights are important to keep showing us who we are, and he is a most wonderful fellow." A wonderful fellow. Right. Do you know what's interesting to me? Let's just imagine something. Let's say if I or you had your own talk show, and one day you decided to consistently and intentionally misgender Dylan Mulvaney, for example, and you had your show taken down because that most likely would happen. Do you think these very same celebrities the next day would be posting tweet after tweet saying, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe he's had his show taken down"? Oh, man. No, of course not. But they're crying about Jimmy Kimmel having his show taken off the air because he's a darling of the left. So do I feel sorry for these people? Absolutely not. You know what, I will say, I would have smiled more if it was The View having their show taken off the air, because I really don't know how that show is still going. All of these left-wing shows just spread lie after lie after lie. And now they're facing consequences for some of their actions I can't believe it. F around and find out. However, talking about crying and whining, because leftist liberals, as soon as Charlie Kirk got shot, lost his life, and they posted videos on the internet celebrating this. You've all seen the videos. They're laughing, they're cheering. They are also now starting to face consequences for those actions, and they can't believe what is happening. You see, people out there have managed to find out where a lot of these people work. They've called up their employers and got them fired. And now they're posting videos having a meltdown about getting fired. Take a watch.
I was just fired from my job.
So I've lost my job. I got called into the office yesterday and told me that they could either fire me or I could put a resignation in, but that would look better. But they fired me, or they're getting rid of me because of my TikTok. Somebody screenshot a lot of my TikToks.
What the f are you supposed to do when you get fired? You just take it? You just take it like a man?
I just got fired. Kind of happy about it.
You said I have to leave the premises like immediately? Okay. So, guess I'll see you guys later. I'm fired. You guys take care. Good luck, okay? Kind of relief. You guys have a good one.
Oh man, I feel good. I just got fired.
I just got fired! I gotta be fired from my job! I'm gonna pay my rent!
Wow. Again, do I feel sorry for these people? No, absolutely not. Why would I? Would you want somebody working for you who is happily celebrating the death of somebody else all over social media? I don't think so. It's completely disgraceful. You know, these people are not okay in the head. And then I think to myself, right, if this is how they feel about Charlie Kirk, how are they going to treat others who have conservative ideas? Are they going to treat them fairly in the industry that they're in? These people have no morals or any integrity. I wouldn't trust them. And again, these are the very same people who have cancelled and condemned people for the smallest things. People have been fired for misgendering people. And now these people are getting fired for something a lot more serious than misgendering someone, and they can't handle it. It is absolutely insane the confidence social media has given a lot of people to turn on their camera, laugh and cheer about somebody losing their life in the way that they did, and they get really upset that they're facing consequences. Just give me a break, man. Save the crocodile tears. I mean, it's not even people losing their jobs. We also see people within universities getting suspended for mocking Charlie Kirk losing his life in a very disgraceful way. This video that I'm going to show you in just a bit, I cannot even believe people are acting like this. The Texas One posts on X. This was at Texas State, a Charlie Kirk memorial event hosted by local Turning Point USA chapter. Student imitates Charlie Kirk's and mocks him, goes up to a statue where Turning Point USA members are and imitates his again, and spits near them. What the actual? Also uses a vape/weed pen near the end of the video, which is against campus policy. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen this anyway because it went viral everywhere, but take a look at this video footage.
Oh my God!
Oh, buddy. You're gonna get expelled, dude.
I tell you now, I have no idea what is wrong with these people. I really don't. To see what that person is doing, it's nothing but evil. I mean, again, would you want somebody like this a part of your establishment? When you see that, would you want somebody like this working for you? I certainly wouldn't. This is a truly hateful person. and thankfully, they have been suspended. Update: Texas State University has expelled this student, and President Dr. Kelly Damphouse said in part of her statement, "I will not tolerate behavior that mocks, trivializes, or promotes violence on our campuses." Good. People like that shouldn't be near anyone else. But this is where we move on to the final part of the video, and it's all about the discussion surrounding political violence and the normalization of people calling for it, which needs to stop. It all needs to stop. It cannot go on. It shouldn't be normalized in any way, shape, or form. But what we are starting to realize is there are leftist streamers out there who have been calling essentially for political violence for quite some time, and people want it addressed. It should be addressed, and social media companies out there in the future could be forced to address it, because some of them have been called to Congress, and we'll get into that in just a bit. But there is a lot of focus right now on people like Hasan and Destiny for their insane rhetoric that they like to push. So let's get into what Hasan, for example, has said in the past. As you can see in this post, here he responds to Tom Cotton, who is a politician, with a diagram of the homemade gun that took out Shinzo Abe. I hope I got that name right, but that is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. What sort of message does that send? What message are you trying to convey to the people who follow you and everybody else? It's not a positive one, is it? It even led to Elon Musk responding to the post, calling out Hasan, saying, "Paging Jeff Bezos." If this was a conservative who did the very same thing to a leftist politician or whatever, they would have been deplatformed instantly. Instantly. Why this sort of rhetoric, behavior, language is allowed to go on from one side is crazy to me. It's like a lot of these social media companies will clamp down on people misgendering, videos will get censored for just simply saying men can't become women. But if you go ahead and put out stuff like that, and there are worse things out there, well, they don't do anything. But with that, we also have video footage of his streams going around, and some of the stuff he is saying is totally unhinged. Now, I don't know the context surrounding some of this, but when you hear it, it's just crazy that you even come out with that in the very first place. Take a watch.
I'm sick and tired of it. Left-wingers, liberals, you need to be fucking showing your opponent's guts on there, okay? You need to be gutting them. You need to be shanking these and letting their intestines just ride on stage. What the is this shit, man? Slice them up. Slice them and fucking dice them. What the fuck is this?
It's hurt poor people that they can afford housing in Berkeley. I don't know how that works.
My understanding is that the property owners who have properties there choose just not to rent it at all.
What is that? Who sits there and says those things? You have to be some sort of deranged individual to even want to say that. These are the sort of streamers that are popular. They have a huge platform. And then you think about the thousands of people who watch them and listen to that sort of rhetoric. Again, it's not a positive thing, is it? No. You don't hear ever any conservative streamer, creator come out and say those things. And if they did say those things, they would have been deplatformed. They would have lost their account. Why is there such leniency when it comes to people on the left saying these sort of things? I mean, just by the video footage and other posts, you can see how much hate and aggression is within the leftist movement. And then we have Destiny. Now, this has to be one of the most unhinged lefty streamers I have ever seen. Probably the most unhinged one on the internet. And the stuff he is coming out with is truly concerning. And this isn't just some random social media account putting out these sort of things. This is somebody with a huge platform and thousands of people listen to what he has to say. And I do believe, as a content creator, you have some sort of responsibility over the things you are saying. And for those of you that haven't heard the sort of stuff that Destiny comes out with and what he says about conservatives and everybody else that doesn't align with his worldview, take a watch.
You genuinely do hate conservatives, don't you?
Very much so. I've moved full on to like the political violence level, or the real violence level, when it comes to conservative people. Yeah, I think they need to be like excised from my country. I think they are demonstrably evil people by any moral system that most people would use. And then I just hate them because they tend to destroy the outcomes related to this country, which is what I'm concerned with. Yeah, absolutely.
Conservatives have been disgusting for years, which is why I don't give a about anybody that winds up at any of these rallies and gets shot or whatever the okay, because they had no problem making fun of Paul Pelosi. The entire world would be better off if these people were permanently removed from these platforms. Like, there is no downside and only upside to see people like Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Tim Pool never be allowed to publicly broadcast their opinions ever again. It's exclusively bad stuff that happens. How about your parents? If they get their brains blown out at a rally, would you have the same attitude? They are democracy-hating insurrectionists after all. One, you're permaban for asking a stupid question, because the obvious answer two is, listen, they're adults. They make their own decisions. If you want to support an insurrectionist president, then whatever comes of that is that's your consequences. Again, it's not a fucking joke. My mom is an immigrant to the United States of America. She was 5 years old. Her parents worked really hard to get her here. She served for 20 years in the Air Force, along with my dad. They know exactly what they're doing. They should know exactly what they're supporting.
Hash out the crime statistics? Not exactly like...
You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now, they don't feel like there's any fear. Like, I don't know. It's like memes. It's just memes to everybody, I guess. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't care. I'm playing video games. Okay, I'm done today.
Now, when you hear that, man, I cannot believe what we just heard. And then you also hear the things that Hasan is saying. What kind of message is that sending out to the people who are watching them and everybody else? It's certainly the opposite of what they claim to be. You know, the Be Kind Brigade. That's a load of crap to begin with. And again, you know, if this was a conservative creator, they would have had their account taken down ages ago. I mean, you'd never even hear conservative creators come out with that sort of stuff. Yet this is what we see and hear a lot on the left. This is how hateful and aggressive these people truly are. But because of this clear, extreme leftist ideology spreading on certain social media platforms, and also because Tyler Robinson, the person who took out Charlie Kirk, used platforms such as Discord, CEOs of certain social media platforms are now being called to Congress. Libs of TikTok goes on to post on X, breaking: CEOs of Discord, Steam, Twitch, and Reddit invited to testify on radicalization and openness of users to commit politically motivated acts. And they put the CEOs of those platforms in their post, and they go on to say, good, these sites are cesspools for and indoctrinating youth into becoming radical, violent leftists. Then we have Polygon, who have reported Steam, Discord, and Twitch executives called to testify before Congress over radicalization of users. The CEOs of Discord, Steam, Twitch, and Reddit have been called to Congress to testify about the radicalization of online forum users on those platforms, the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee announced Wednesday. Congress has a duty to oversee the online platforms that radicals have used to advance political violence, said Chairman of the House Oversight Committee James Comer, a Republican from Kentucky, in a statement. To prevent future radicalization and violence, the CEOs of Discord, Steam, Twitch, and Reddit must appear before Oversight Committee and explain what actions they will take to ensure their platforms are not exploited for nefarious purposes. So with that news, you will see some people on social media saying, well, will Twitch, for example, now be forced to remove people like Hasan from their platform? Who knows? I mean, people even want these streamers to face legal consequences for what they have been saying. Some of that stuff that they have been saying is just crazy. Again, all you have to say is if conservative creators were coming out with the stuff that they are coming out with and directing that sort of language towards the left, they wouldn't have a platform. So I think it's good Congress wants answers from these platforms. But leave your thoughts down below, ladies and gentlemen. Leave your thoughts on the people who have been effing around for far too long, now finding out. You know, the left are calling this cancel culture striking, even though they have been the ones who have pushed cancel culture to the extremes. And people are saying, nah, this ain't cancel culture, this is consequence culture. But leave your thoughts down below nonetheless. If you have enjoyed, once again, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video, share this video. But until next time, it has been your host, JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.